Hi there and welcome to Cross Stitch Kate. My name is Caitlin and I am excited to be coming at you with a Flosstube Extra today. I am going to do a kit parade and show you all of the projects that I have fully kitted up, floss, fabric, and pattern ready to go. There's 23 of them, so let's just jump right in. This is usually where I keep all of my kitted projects in this little square here. So that is empty. I've got them all ready to show. So my first one that I have fully kitted up is Autumn Town by Autumn Stitchery. I know so many people have either started or finished this one. This was super popular when it came out a few years ago, and it really is just beautiful. This pattern is 140 stitches by 196 stitches, and I have the called for threads, which is from Mountain Air hand-dyed fabrics, and it's called Apple Harvest. And so the cool thing, so it's this pretty green, and the cool thing about this pattern, if you are not aware, all of the backgrounds, the green backgrounds here, is the fabric. So you don't have to stitch all of the grass, which is lovely. So like the sky is stitched, but everything else is just the fabric. And so, yeah, this is a really pretty green. And I will say that this took months and months to come in. I ordered directly from Mountain Air hand-dyed fabrics, and it was just kind of a, I don't know, it just took a really long time. I haven't experienced that really in the past, but I didn't need it for anything, so it's just sitting here. And then I do have it fully kitted up. It is mostly DMC. And then they have a few specialty flosses. So there's some Gloriana silks, which I have never worked with before, but I'm very excited. These are for the leaves. It's really pretty variegated red and gold. And so some of the leaves on the pattern have this like really beautiful variegation in them. And then there's a couple of weeks, and then the rest are all DMC. You'll see a lot of my floss kitted up in floss bags. That is how I had been storing all of my floss, and I've recently converted to floss drops. So one day I'll convert everything, all my DMC to floss drops, but for now they're in flossaway bags, which I don't really mind. I don't mind stitching from floss bags either. So that's Autumn Town. Okay, the next projects that I have fully kitted up are the Year in the Woods series from Cottage Garden Samplings. Yep. And I have all 12 of them. This came out last year in 2022, and each pattern was released in kind of monthly increments. And I was part of Abby, Top Knot Stitcher's kind of like monthly auto ship. And so I have everything kitted up, and I have all the fancy floss. I don't have all of the DMC floss kitted up yet, but each pattern calls for 1 to 2 skeins of a fancy floss. And so I have all of those kitted up. So I'm sure you guys have seen these, but I'll just go ahead and show you. So number 1 is the fox. Number 2 is the swans. I really like this one. 3 is the ferret. This might be my least favorite one just because ferrets really freak me out. But I love the yellow flowers. And I mean, he's cute, but real ferrets, oof, not a fan. The jackrabbit is number 4. The raccoon is number 5. The bear, one of my favorites, number 6. The bald eagle. I love the tree on that one. The barn owl, very wise looking owl. The woodpecker, another standout for me. I love the colors of the trees in this one too. The pink is especially fun. The bat is number 10. The reindeer. Oh, I'm out of order. Number 11 is the beaver. Very, very cute. And then lastly is the reindeer to finish out the winter series. And so I really do want to stitch all 12 of these. I was considering stitching them on all one piece, but I think that might be a little unmanageable and will take years and years. So I think I'm going to do the 3 seasonal ones on their own fabric. Hey, bird. And so I do have 3 of the called for fabrics. So the first one is Oaken by Picture This Plus. It's a really beautiful brownish color. I think this one's for fall. And then I've got Valor by Picture This Plus. Pretty green for spring. And then I've got the blue, what is this called? Mirage. This is beautiful. This is like what the fox goes on. And then I'm missing one. I believe I'm missing the summer one. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to these, but I love every time I see somebody doing one of these. I love it. They're so beautiful, and it's nice. I feel good like just having them ready to go and stitch with the fancy floss and the fabric. That is the year in the woods. The next project that I have to show you is Entwined Hearts, and this is from the Scarlet house. I really, really like this one. I had shown this in one of my floss tubes a few months ago. I was considering starting this, and this is just beautiful. I love it because there's only 4 colors in it. And I think I had a few, and then I just kind of did a conversion and found things that were similar. There's just a gray, a light green, a black, and a white. And these are the colors, and then they go on a red fabric. And I think this cedar, this is a 40 count cedar from Color and Cotton. I think that is going to be beautiful and looks very similar to the cover photo. Birdie Bark Break. But like, as I was saying, I think the fabric looks just so close to the original. And I love the threads that I have here. So I believe I have a Classic Color Works that is called for. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, Classic Color Works that is called for the black. That's Black Coffee. And then I just have 3 Color and Cotton flosses that I just chose. So I'm excited to start that one. This doesn't look so huge either. It's 140 by 192, but you know, I love the alphabet. The colors in the alphabet. So we'll see when I get started with that one. The next one I have for you is by Samplers Not Forgotten, and it is called With Thy Needle and Thread. And I just think this one is so pretty. I randomly got this on 123 Stitch a few months back. I think I had showed it in one of my haul portions of a video. And it's really just beautiful. So this is 207 by 154. It's kind of a medium size. And I just think the colors are really beautiful. And so I do have, I kitted this up on 123 Stitch. So they sent me all of the colors, which are Gentle Arts and Classic Color Works. But I just love these hues. That pretty bright blue and then kind of the more muted tones, the browns and the beiges. And I thought it would look really nice on this piece of Spacious Sky from Color and Cotton. This was a fabric, June 2022 Fabric Club for me. And it's very similar to the cover. So I can't wait to start that. I don't know when I'm going to start that either. If you're working on any of these that you see me show, or you're really jonesing to start something and you see that I have one of the patterns that you're thinking about, please let me know down in the comments. You know, I'm always up for a stitch along or a start along. But yeah, if I get an overwhelming consensus on 1 or 2 patterns, maybe we can plan something and get started. Okay, the next one I have to show you is Christmas House by Brightneedle. So this is in the style of if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm working on Dollhouse right now. And there are a few other cut through patterns. There is, I think, the Needle Workshop, Esmeralda's House, which is a Halloween pattern, and then Christmas House. And I do have all four. Took me a few months to collect them a few years back, but I did find them on just like eBay or stash unloading websites. And so this one is so cute. I hope that you can see that okay. But it's just a little Christmas scene in a house. It's mini. Well, it's not mini, 210 by 150, but it's much smaller than the dollhouse. And I'm still kind of deciding, actually. So this is obviously stitched on a white pattern, but what you can't see is that there's like some snow on the roof, and it's stitched in white. So I was thinking it might be nice to stitch this on a color and not stitch it on white so that you can kind of see that. So I have a few fabric options here. This is 32 count blue ice Belfast linen. I think it's just a Zweigert. It's very pretty. And then I've got a Mystic Fabrics pearl. This is also a 32 count. But I think this is really pretty too. This like gray, I don't know, it looks wintry to me. So that is what I'm leaning towards. And then I do have this all kitted up with DMC. They're all in Flosstube bags. They're not even on a ring yet. But I did kit this up with the called for DMC conversion. I probably won't start this one this year, at least until my dollhouse is completed. So, one Brightneedle at a time, I guess, right? All right, disclaimer, some of these that I have kitted up have been kitted up for like 4 years. Like right when I started cross stitching, I went a little nutty and I got a lot of different patterns, and I started out stitching on like 32 28 count, and then I quickly switched on over to 36 40. So I'm probably gonna change some of the fabrics that I have. So some of these fabrics will be like 28 or 32, and I'll be switching them probably. Or maybe trying over maybe trying over one on like 28. That could be fun. But this next one I have is so cute. It's a Prairie Schooler pattern, and it is the night before Christmas. And so you can either do these ornament style or all in one piece. And I really like the all in one because I like the reindeer on the top. So I will probably end up stitching this all in one. And I just pulled a white. I pulled the called for. This is a white, maybe it wasn't called for, but it's a 32 count white Joblin. Kind of boring. But I mean, it looks really cute on the white. So who knows? And then I think I have this almost fully kitted, but just red and green and brown and gray. Yeah, I really, really like this one. I love Prairie Schooler patterns because the charts are just so easy to read. Here's Prairie Schooler, night before Christmas. Okay, so I have another Cottage Garden samplings. This is the first signs of spring. I believe this was also part of a series, a Time for All Seasons series that came out in 2021. And I think I have one or two from this series. But I really love this pretty little robin in just a basket full of, I think they're like tulips or something. They're so pretty. And so I did pull the called for fabric, which is Ancient by Picture This Plus. I believe it's a 36 count. Nope, it's a 40 count. It looks different than the cover. I think Ancient can like lean more gray blue, or it can lean more tan, and the cuts that I've been getting have been tan. But I think it'll still be really pretty. And I do have all of the DMC kitted up for this one. So I'm not using any fancy floss, it's just all DMC. That's a lie. There's some right here. There's a couple Gentle Arts, I guess. Wood Trail and Lexington Green. So that'll be really pretty whenever I get started with that. All right, this next one is a kit. I bought the kit. I bought this on a website called Stitched Modern, which is a cross stitch and other crafts sites. I never hear anybody talking about that website, and I think there's a lot of cute stuff on it. So go check that out if you haven't. Stitched Modern, they've got a lot of like notions. There's some needle minders. They carry Caterpillar cross stitch needle minders, so if you don't want to pay like the overseas shipping fees from Caterpillar cross stitch for all of their adorable needle minders, go check out Stitched Modern. I'll link that below. But Stitched Modern had these really pretty, it was like a monthly flower scene series, and this is from a Dutch cross stitch creator that I cannot pronounce. It is so long, I can barely read it. Everything is in Dutch. And I got this yellow tulip pattern. This is the one that I have, with these pretty little bluebirds and yellow tulips, and just like, it looks very springy. And I tried to figure out, I think this is like 110 by 110. It's not super huge. And it comes with the floss and a needle and the fabric. I will switch out the fabric. This fabric has a very open weave. It almost looks like wickery. Like, it's so see-through. It's very stiff. So I'm not sure what the brand is. And then it came with all of the threads, I mean. I'm not sure what kind of threads these are. I've never heard of them, but it's a one-stranded cotton, which is really interesting. But really pretty springy colors. So I will switch out the fabric once I get started with that. But yeah, that'll be really fun. It's so pretty. I have no plans to start this, but I'm glad that I have it. Let's keep it going with the kits. I bought my first kit from Owl Forest Embroidery. This was back in 2020, I believe. Owl Forest Embroidery is a Russian cross-stitch company, and I don't believe they are shipping anything right now. I don't think you can get anything from Russia, but they do sell PDF patterns as well from, I think they have a shop through like France or something on Etsy. But the one that I bought, which doesn't really resonate with me anymore, but it's so cute. I just don't really know why I bought this one. I think I was really looking for a kit. I wanted everyone to talk about how beautiful their threads were from Owl Forest, so I really wanted to try the threads. So I'm gonna post a picture. I don't have a picture that doesn't show the charts, but this is Carrots. I think I'm naming it Carrots. I don't know if that's actually what the name is. But it has just these beautiful floss colors that are all variegated. I'm gonna try to show you guys. So it looked like this pretty variegated orange, and then just greens and a yellow and a white. So these are all Owl Forest Embroidery floss. And they're just beautiful, and the packaging is so pretty. It just comes on these cardboard bobbins, so you can make it into a floss drop or a bobbin, which is kind of fun. And then it came with the fabric. It came just with, I think it's a 32 count. It's a nice color. The fabric will, wow, I'm mixing up my words today. The floss will look really nice on this fabric, so I'll for sure use that. All right, moving right along, I've got another Prairie Schooler to show you. I saw this like right when I first started cross stitching, and I really fell in love with this balloon Santa. So this is called Santa Rides from Prairie Schooler, and it just has like a bunch of modes of transportation that, you know, Santa's using to get to where he needs to go. And this balloon is just really, really fun. So they've got a truck, a horse, a train, a boat. It's so fun. Reindeer. Hi, bird. Are you done barking at everyone now? Little Bradley. Yeah. So I am gonna do this on a gray, I believe, instead of a tan. And so I have a few options here. I've got Succulent from Color and Cotton, and then I've also got this Mystic Fiber or Mystic Fabrics is a darker gray with a little bit more modeling. So I'm gonna do one of the two for the balloon, and then I've got, I pulled some of my own colors from Color and Cotton. So that is gonna be so fun. It's a small pattern. I think I will maybe start this this year. So I believe this is like 50 by 140 maybe. So it's kind of a long, tall. It'll be a cute little pillow. Fun, small. And the project that I have kitted up in this one is, oh my gosh, I love this one. It's from Mojo Stitches, and it's the Bushland Quaker. It's beautiful. This came out a few years back. This came out in 2020. And I fell in love with this like the moment I saw it. And I bought this through, I believe I bought this through Top Knot Stitcher, and they had a thread pack that they were offering with this, with Cottage Garden threads. I think that's what they're called, right? Cottage Garden threads. Yeah, of course, from Australia. And so I just have enough Cottage Garden threads for this project, which I love because, gosh, we all know the feeling of like kitting up a project and then you realize that like you bought a whole skein and it's for like, you know, 100 stitches. So we just have enough of what, and then there's one, this one obviously is the one that has the most, but look how pretty that's packaged, just on this card with a pretty little bow. So that was really, really fun to get that from Abby. And I kitted it up with, I think this is just, oh, this is Wren. Picture This plus Wren. So that's what I chose to maybe do this one on. So I think that'll look really, good on Wren. I would really like to get started on this actually. If anybody has this, and I think a lot of people have already stitched this, but this would maybe be a fun summer start. I really like that one. I believe I have the second, this was kind of part of a series, and there is one with more birds than flowers. I can't remember what it's called, but that one's pretty too. I don't have that one fully kitted. I didn't get the floss pack in time before they sold out. So yeah. All right, these next two I'm really excited about, and they're both really big projects, but I do really want to start both of them soon. I really do. They're beautiful. So these are, well, I'll just start with the first one. This is Halloween at Hollyberry Farm by Stacy, Nash Primitives. I'm sure you've seen this one. It even has like the real photo on the cover. That's why it's glossy. But I love this border. Look at the flower. It's like black flowers and then the white kind of vines. It looks very spooky, but I think that's so pretty. I have this mostly kitted up, so I'm going to be doing this on Cobblestone, which is a 40 count from Color and Cotton, but I think that like kind of grungy gray is gonna look beautiful. It's very close to the called for, which is R&R Reproductions. That's why I can't get it, but it's called Century Rook linen. I don't even know where I would even attempt to find that, but I think this is a good alternative. And then I have a lot of the called fors, which are just like some muted browns and golds. But then I also have a few Color and Cottons that I pulled, just because I'm wondering if like some of the black flowers, the called for color for the black flowers is Carriage Black, which is actually more brown, with kind of like a gray variegation. And I'm wondering if like, I don't know, I took both of these. Let me get my fabric here. From Color and Cotton, I've got Juniper and Salem, which I thought could make really cool options. So maybe like even a purpley navy or this like black green might be good options. So I'm still deciding on this. I'll decide closer. But yeah, I'm very excited to start this one. This is a really big pattern. This is 343 by 227. So that is Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. And then I also have Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. And this one is just so beautiful. I really, really, really like this one. I think the house is just really beautiful. I love the pop of red from the woman in her skirt. I really like the border. It's just like branches and holly. I hope that you can see this okay. But look how gorgeous that is. So this is definitely like a super prim style. The fabric is like super muted and kind of grungy. So I thought that this Fox, what is it called? Fox Run from Color and Cotton. I thought this would be a really nice option. I think it looks kind of similar, but like not quite as modeled and antiqued, which is fine with me. And then I do have the called for colors with the exception of the red. I have old red paints. And I think mulberry is called for, but I kind of like the more vibrant yet still like kind of muted red. And so this is the only color that's kind of given me a little pause. It looks very close to the fabric, but the other ones I think look great. And I believe that's the house color. So maybe I'll pick a more vibrant white just to really showcase that house. I love this one. I think Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, is stitching this one. She's stitching it without the alphabet at the top. You can barely see the alphabet, which I might consider too, Megan. I don't know if the alphabet adds like a ton, but I might like just start like after that Merry Christmas, just move the border down. But this one is so beautiful. All right, this next one is an ink circles pattern. I don't have the cover sheet, so I'm gonna put it right here. But this is called Second Chances from Ink Circles. And it's really, really beautiful. It's kind of like a sampling of a bunch of different mandalas patterns. And it's all in these beautiful purples. So I bought this like in 2020. This was one of my first projects that I fully kitted up after I started Forest Flower, which I had long finished. But I really got into ink circles and I purchased quite a few. And this is a standout for me. So this is a big pattern. I'll have to put the stitch count below. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's fairly big. And it's in all of these beautiful purples, and these purples are all from Weeks. So I bought these a long, long time ago, so I am going to use them. But look how gorgeous all of these different purples are. I'm not a huge purple gal, but these are just so pretty. And I have this on 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. And it's a really beautiful silver gray, kind of like a brighter, lighter gray. It's showing up kind of white right now with my lighting here, but it's really, really beautiful. And I think gray and purple just always look so nice together. So I think I will, there's potential, I'll stitch it on this. This is 32 count. This is already a big pattern, which sometimes makes me nervous, but this could be fun. No plans to start that, but it really is beautiful. All right, this next one is a biggie. I was talking to Lauren, the New Hampshire Stitcher, a couple weeks ago, and she mentioned that she has this one and potentially wants to start it. So I might wait and start this with Lauren if she gets around to it. I do have this fully kitted up though. This is Come to the Garden by Teresa Kogut. This is so gorgeous. When I first saw this, I think this came out in 2021, but maybe it was a market release, but this was an immediate purchase for me. Really, really, really love this. So this is on the called for fabric. or I have the called for fabric, which is Parchments from Handmade by Stephanie. And it's just a really beautiful, creamy, kind of beige, tan color. Pretty for a sampler. And I have all of the called for. So there's a mix of DMC, Gentle Arts, and Weeks. She's like famous for mixing up all of her flosses. Here, as you can kind of see the fancy floss. Really beautiful reds, pinks, greens. So I'm excited to get started with that. So Lauren, if you end up wanting to start yours, just let me know, girl. I will do a stitch along with you, or a start along. Let's be honest, I don't keep up with stitch alongs. I love this pattern because it's like in this bound booklet, and it's big, it's easy to read. But yeah, this is a bigger one, 225 by 295. So I think that Megan, Seattle Stitcher, is also stitching this one. So pretty. All right, my next two are part of the series. So I have stitched, this is Satsuma Streets. I've stitched the summer one, and I'm starting the fall one. So I have the winter and spring fully kitted as well to show you. So this is Primavera, the spring one. And this is so cute. Oh, I just love, seasonal stitches just find me and get me. But I really love this one. So I've got it fully kitted. There's a lot of DMCs in these. I mean, the floss, the list is just very extensive. I'm gonna just try to show you that. They also call for a lot of DMC variegated flosses, which are fun to use. So in this type of pattern, I really like the strong variegation. So that's beautiful. Maybe I'll get started with this next spring. I have these kitted up with just white casual 28 count linen. I might change this up, but white casual linen. So that's Primavera, the spring one, and then I have the winter one. The winter one is called Invierno, and it's really pretty. It's very cool colors. Once again, I have 28 count casual linen, and then I have this fully kitted as well with all of the DMC. This one has a lot of pretty purples and blues in it. Love that. So I gotta finish my fall one, and then I'll move on to the next season. I think I'm gonna focus on my fall, which is Atono or Atonio, and I think I'm gonna start that in the summer. All right, I've started it, but I'm gonna drive home and finish it. This is Wildflowers by Barrik. So here, I'm sure you have all seen this. I believe this came out at market last year. And I am jonesing for a start on this. So I do have the called for seaweed linen from Fox and Rabbit, which is so fun. I am obsessed with this linen. I got this from Hollis Hands Create. They have a lovely selection of Fox and Rabbit fabric on their website. So highly recommended. And Hollis Hands Creates, that shop ships so fast. It's amazing. Like 2 or 3 days and it's at your doorstep. But seaweed is such a beautiful color. And then I kitted it up with the DMCs. I believe you can kit this up in needlepoint silks as well. But I think the DMC conversion is gonna be lovely. Got a lot of black there. So I love the light pastel-y colors on this dark fabric. So I'm excited to start that. That might be a potential for a new start this summer. I love this one. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one, folks. This is an out of print pattern, unfortunately, but this is Winter Wonderland from Blackbird Designs. I am super lucky that I snagged this. I got this on eBay a couple years back. I believe I saw it on Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I think she's done this one, but look at the geese and the deer. and that border is really fun. So this is a great pattern. It's not super huge, 154 by 124. And I believe I have Boardwalk kitted up for this one. Now the picture is a little darker, a little more gray. So I'm not 100% sold on this, but I do have the threads. I've got a few DMC and a few of the fancy flosses. So I cannot wait to start that one. That might be a Christmas start this year. Or maybe like my New Year, New Start. I love that. Winter Wonderlands by Blackbird. That is in another very unrelated bag. This cute bag of like these gals sunbathing from Fern and Gilly. All right, this is a recent, this is just a market release that was just released in 2023, but this is Eliza's French Birds. I know a few people have already finished this one. It's so cute and tiny. It's 73 by 93. And it's just these little pretty pink birds with some greenery. This is from JBW Designs. And I believe it's like a reproduction. And so I am going to be stitching this. I was able to find some Lakeside on 123 Stitch, which was exciting. And this is Maple Sugar from Lakeside, and it's perfect. It's a perfect color that matches the picture almost exactly. The fabric that is called for is R&R reproduction espresso. And yeah, I just have maple syrup from Lakeside, and then I have the DMC. I believe this calls for Classic Colorworks and Weeks, but I just kitted up the DMC. They're really beautiful. So pinks and greens. We're getting down to the wire. I only have 3 more to show you. The next one is in this really pretty Christmassy bag. This is Silent Night. And I'm forgetting, I don't have the pattern. It's a PDF that I have kitted up, but is it all through the years? It might be all through the years. I will correct that if that's incorrect. And I am stitching this on a Weeks Dye Works Gunmetal. But I think this is a really beautiful, I think it just says winter at the top, and it's like a very peaceful winter night. And I have the called for colors, which is a mixture of Weeks, Classic Colorworks, and Gentle Arts. This is a really fun and pretty winter scene. Some really pretty colors. So I think those will show up so nicely on this fabric. The rest of these are all PDFs that I have. So this is a Study in Pink. I bought this a few weeks ago, and it's by something housewife. Oh, I'm gonna forget. I am, of course, putting it down below. Artsy housewife. So here's the picture. I'm sure I've been showing it, but it's this beautiful butterfly moth thing. And it's just a lot of different colors. And so I have all the colors. It's a mix of Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts and Weeks. And I'm going to be doing it on this really beautiful gray color and cotton. It's called Luna. I believe it's a 36 count, but that's gonna look gorgeous. So again, I really want to start this one. Oh, and I forgot to show you this gorgeous bag. This is from Como Stitches. I love Como Stitches bags, but look how perfect. These beautiful butterflies. And I just think even the color scheme is like right on point. So that's fun. It's always fun to have a matching bag. I don't do great with that, but every once in a while I get it right. And then lastly, I did show this in my last Flosstube video, but I thought since I haven't started it yet and it's fully kitted, I would show it again. So this is a reproduction sampler, and I have a PDF, and of course I am blanking. I think it's Sophia Barnscher, I think that is the name of it, from Northumberland's Stitchery, which is a new to me shop or designer on Etsy. And just look at this. It is stunning. It is so, so beautiful. This was, I think I talked about this in my Flosstube, but this was like an instant purchase. I saw this on Instagram and I couldn't get it out of my head. I immediately went and purchased. And it's huge. I think it's, I'm gonna put the stitch count right here. I think it's in the 300s. So it's a really, really big one. I think I'm gonna get started on this though in a few days. This might be a June start. And I talked about doing like an end of the school year start. And so I am going to be doing this on 46 counts, Fox and Rabbit, Eureka, which is a gorgeous creamy gold color. I also got this from Hollis Hands Create. And again, the shipping was so fast. I did end up getting a fat half for this. And I haven't put my DMC on floss drops yet, but here is the DMC, and it's like candy. This is such a bright, beautiful mix of colors. So I can't wait to start this sampler. I'm gonna be working on this in June for sure. And so that is number 23. That is all I have for you. Not sure how long this video is going to be. I had to stop and start a few times, but hopefully it's not too long. So again, if you have any of the projects that I have fully kitted already and you want to get started on something, pop a comment down below and just let me know what you're interested in starting, and who knows, maybe we can start a stitch along or a start along together. That would be really fun. So I've got a big mess in front of me. I'm gonna go and clean this all up, put them back in my shelf, and I hope everyone has a really wonderful day. And it was fun showing all of my kitted projects to you today. I have lots of patterns that I could potentially kit up, but I think I just need to cool it and get some of these into my whip rotation before I kit anything else up. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and like. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe if you are so inclined, and I will see you again in a few weeks for another Flosstube update. All right, have a great day, everyone. Take care.